With the graphics list in place, we can now build the details page for each graphic. The details page will include an editor component that will let us draw the actual graphic. In this chapter, we will focus on the routing aspect and not concern ourselves with the actual editor. React Router provides various mechanisms to parse route params, which is graphic ID in our case. There is a higher order component based approach, and we can use the with router HOC and also take a hooks based approach using use params hook. We are going to use with router HOC in our app. You can use hooks too, but reagent support for hooks is limited as of this writing. The with router HOC expects a React component as an argument. One tiny issue with React components is that atoms don't work with React, but atoms work fine as children of React components. The solution is to create a transparent wrapper to the desired reagent component and pass the props in manually. Then reactify this wrapper component so atoms can continue to work. Let's understand this with an example. We defined a counter atom and a component X page that depends on this counter atom. Now if we reactify this component and render it at a route, the counter will stop working. To bypass this, we can create an X-page container which just renders the X-page component with the props. Now, if we reactify X-page container, the counter atom will continue to work in X-page. The details for a graphic page will be available at graphics/graphic ID route. As per our app structure, the namespace responsible for this route is app.pages.graphics.detail. We will also need an additional switch component in app.pages.graphics since we need to compose routes as follows. Let's update our app.pages.graphics namespace to accommodate this switch. We extracted the existing page component to list component, replaced page with a switch. When the route path is graphics, the list component will be rendered, and when the route path is graphics/graphics ID, the graphics detail container will be reactified and rendered. It will also receive route properties courtesy of with router HOC. Graphic detail container internally renders the detail page, which we haven't created yet. The exact prop prevents the list component from being re-rendered on graphics/graphic ID. This is how React Router composes. The graphic card component should redirect to graphics/graphic ID. We can achieve this by using React Router's link component. Let's update our card and wrap its content in a link. The ID passed to the graphic is a keyword. The name function converts a keyword into string. If the ID of graphic was string -mxfh42, then the ID argument will be keyword mxfh42 and the to prop will be graphics/-mxh42. If the name function was not used, the to prop would have been the string graphics/:-mxh42, which might have caused issues with parsing. We can now populate the app.pages.graphics.detail and realize our wireframe. We require the packages and namespaces we need for this component. Let's create the page next. The props will be a map with keys, location, match, and history. A params map will be present in the match object. The key values of params map will be a chase object of parsed route parameters. Since we are on the graphics/graphic ID route, the parsed params chase object will contain graphics ID. Goog.object/getValueByKeys is a GCP function and is equivalent to getIn for JS objects. If you have a nested JS object like A, B, C, the getValueByKeys object A, B will return C. When we have the graphic ID, we subscribe to AppDB to get the graphic with that ID. We will write this subscription soon. When the graphic is available, the route is parsed and the subscription is realized, we can render the actual component. The nav component is not global navigation, but local navigation as shown in the wireframe. We also render the string version of graphic object so we can say things in action. Graphic by ID subscription. The subscription is similar to deleting graphic ID. It accepts a graphic ID and returns a value for that ID. This navigation bar has two purposes. To link back to the home page and to show the name of the graphic. We can use Blueprint snapbar component again to set this up. Since this nav is only used by graphics detail page, we can place it inside app.pages.graphics.detail. This nav is similar to the Drupal nav we defined earlier. We haven't used the graphic ID, but we'll need it to update the name in later sections. The navbar is blue this time, but feel free to choose your own colors. With everything in place, you should be redirected to the details page when you click on a card, and back home when you click on the home icon. In this chapter, we used the with router HUC to capture route params and created the details page. We also updated the graphics card to redirect to the detail.